start with football. Hall of Fame game, Teddy. Point spread hijinks, point spread shenanigans. You always got to get the best of it when betting a football game or anything for that matter. Ravens open 1, touched 3 in Vegas at some shops, went off 2.5. They win by 1, the 4th and 6. The Bears get the first down, score on the next play, go for 2, don't get it. And the total was as low as 32.5, closed 35, falls right in the middle at 33 after it opened about 33, 33.5 at most shops.
And at 17-7, you felt it coming. I mean, you really did. The Bears kicked that field goal. You're like, all right, this game's going to come down to somebody making or missing a 2-point conversion at the end. What did we talk about earlier in the week? Some of the things to watch for in preseason. 3s don't matter. 1s and 2s do. That obviously on full display in last night's game. And, of course, the drama, Pauly. It was the 4th and 6. He had a couple of third down conversions. Tyler Bray making the plays with the point spread on the line. The best bettors, the wise guys, they pushed. Now, there was one to be laying with Baltimore. They laid it. Total-wise, you could have gotten a 32.5 in that game. You could have won on the over. Obviously, if you bet it late and the under, cashed in with relative ease with room to spare, although you're sweating that 2-point conversion. But there's something to be said. Both side and total coming right down to the wire on the very first game of the NFL season, Pauly, a harbinger of point spread drama to come in the weeks and months to follow.
Liked it. I had a Ravens money line. I took that. That was a lot of fun. I thought RG3 played well. The other big story is the new helmet rule. Oh, my God. 4 penalties with the new helmet rule. I thought I agreed with Nagy. That wasn't targeting. That was a ridiculous call in the end zone. When the guy comes in with the shoulder, he doesn't even hit the guy by the neck, and they throw the flag, which set up 1st and goal. So that was ridiculous, and 6 turnovers as well. So 17-16, I thought RG3 looked pretty good, and I would pick him up if I'm another team. There's some bad quarterbacks out there. I can't believe Matt Castle's still in the league. I don't think the Ravens are going to keep 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, when you start talking about how good guys look in the preseason, you want to keep one thing in mind. How much blitzing are they facing? And that is a huge, huge issue. The QBs that aren't facing a whole lot of blitzing likely to look a lot better than the QBs that are facing blitz on every down or every other down. So be aware of what the defensive game plan was or is when you evaluate QBs and how good they look. Sometimes they're not facing a real NFL defense. I'm not sure RG3 was facing a real NFL defense last night.
Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. A moose. I think I'm going to call it a moose in Chicago. Royals, White Sox under 9.5. 2-0 in the 8th. And you lost. 6-4 final. And the teams combined for 7 runs in the 8th. Not to be outdone, Wade Davis blows his 5th save. Rocky should have like a 5-game lead in the division. Their bullpen's been horrendous. And they lose 3 out of 4 in St. Louis. They led 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th. Davis blows it. Rockies were plus $1.35. Cardinals win and take 3 out of 4.
We got to talk to Moose right off the bat. I mean, 2-0 in the top of the 8th. You've got an under 9.5 ticket in your pocket between 2 fairly inept offensive teams. Lo and behold, what do you get? You get 3 in the top. You get 4 in the bottom. And that one extra run sitting at 6-3, 6-4 final, top of the 9th, the meaningless, not so meaningless for total bettors, home run ends up being a real moose on that one. And, I mean, Wade Davis, the Rockies spent the money to bring him in. He's supposed to be closing out games. Colorado's bullpen has been very spotty of late, cost them and their backers another loss last night.
Marlins plus $1.60. Marlins plus the run and a half, minus 140. 2-1 bottom of the 9th. Phillies tie it. And then Franco with the 3-run bomb, the walk-off. And they win 5-2. Horrible if you had Marlins plus the run and a half. And this one, not that bad, but in any event, it can still mention it. Giants Diamondbacks under 7.5. It was 3-1 in the 8th. And it goes over after the Giants got a 5 spot as well. Play of the day pushed in the CFL game. Although a couple people are saying Ottawa minus 6.5, or I guess it would be more Ottawa money line. They blew an 18-point lead in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. But, of course, CFL action, you tend to have some wild comebacks. saw one on full display last night. Exciting football, even though it's not NFL. The CFL games last night, more exciting than the Hall of Fame game. We'll just put it that way.
Bad for the books. Phillies took money as they get the comeback win against the Marlins. Padres, who had a players-only meeting, team meeting before the game, came out against the listless Cubs and won. Padres plus 175 down to 150. The Padres have been horrible in game one of a series. They've only won one at home, which is amazing but true that now we're in August. And the bettors had the right idea here. Dodgers-Brewers over, 7 up to 7.5, 21-5. 9 home runs in the game, 7 by LA.
Yeah, and of course, when you have more home runs in the game than the total is lined, total's lined at 7 at the opener in that. You have 9 dingers. Yeah, that would be a right side. Bettors all over the over in that one. And obviously, the Dodgers didn't just get to the over by themselves. They doubled the over by themselves. The final score tripled the over by itself. Obviously, Dodgers-Brewers over. Not a good result for the bookmakers last night.
Sportsbet betting insight today. Pauly and Teddy. I'm at Real Sportsbet on Twitter. He's at Teddy_covers. All the betting news you need to know in less than 20 minutes. Bet online. NBA totals came out. I saw Dave Mason. Is he still alive? Dave Mason tweeted these out earlier in the week. Golden State leading the way at 65.5, followed by Houston. And then it gets interesting. Boston number 3, Toronto 50.5. They get a top 5 player in Kawhi and Danny Green, and they won 59 games last year. And the Lakers, look at that. That's way too high. They're saying the Lakers are the 3rd best team in the West at 50.5 with that win total.
That's where they're being priced. You look at the future markets, you look at the win totals. There is a lot of love for the LA Lakers right now. Now, certainly Bet Online and all the books understand that there's a little bit of fascination with this Lakers team. There's going to be a fair few public bettors taking LA over their win total. So sure, we've seen the future odds on the Lakers get notched down, and we've seen the win total on the Lakers get notched up. But I would be very reluctant to take any of the top teams over the total. The Warriors at 65.5. What does Golden State have to prove in the regular season next year? Yep. Nothing. The Rockets, 60.5. What does Houston have to prove in the regular season next year? Nothing. Celtics, nothing. And on down the line. You want to bet the Raptors over? Knock yourselves out. But the top teams, those win totals that say we're elite, not a one of those teams is going to give a crap about winning games. It's about getting themselves into playoff form once the All-Star break rolls around. I would rather bet all 3 of those top teams under than bet them over.
I thought Philly was low, 48.5. They won 52 games last year. Milwaukee's 45.5. Budenholzer, the new coach, everything went wrong, and they still won 44 games last year. Same for Washington, who's 44.5, and they won 43 last year. Denver's 43.5. They won 46 games last year. They also pissed away a lot of games and lost to some bad teams. I know the West is a lot stronger than it was last year. I really like the Spurs over 42.5. They won 47 games last year and had a top 5 defense, and Kawhi Leonard played 9 games. And they get DeRozan now, too, and I know Pop will figure it out. Atlanta, the lowest win total. I can't believe it's this high. 26.5. I don't think they get to 20. They're horrible. Their team stinks. They won 24 games last year, and they're worse on paper this year. Trae Young's going to shoot 20 times a game.
But it's interesting to see the team with the lowest win total at 26.5. That's a good notch or 2 higher than we've seen in recent years. The NBA not filled with the same type of bottom feeders. I mean, Atlanta, look, there's talent on Atlanta. It's young talent, but there's talent there. And to see them at the very bottom, there's a handful of teams that have been pretty bad that I'm interested in. The Nets, a squad I've got my eye on as a team that has potential to really improve in 2018/19.
And the Cavs, life without LeBron, 31.5. I know I talked to a guy in Vegas who thinks he's going to make him high 20s with the Cavs.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.